Hopefully that didn't ruin everything. What else I'm risking. Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? I don't know if I want this on my chest doing my show. I might have to risk it again. Seems I have a light reflecting from my. There we go. There we go. My show's going to be a loud one today. That's what happens when you're in your car. Well, that's nice. Fresh air. Got my little lights going. Turned on my car. Hopefully they'll shut off at some point soon. Good morning, Morel. How are you? Morel Gerard. How are you on this fine morning, Morel? There we go. That faded. That faded. Oh. I'm sitting outside of Casey's General Store in Urbana, Illinois. And I woke this morning. I woke in my car. Checked out of a hotel last night that had been bleeding me dry over the last 3 months of living here, eating up a fair chunk of my income, my precious income, because I have a lot of financial responsibilities. Not that I'm different than anybody else. I know we all have a lot of expenses, but I was relocating from Wisconsin to Central Illinois to get closer to my little ones, and checked into a hotel 3 months ago. Have struggled mightily over the last 3 months. Haven't loved where I moved. Haven't felt comfortable. Felt I was bleeding cash. Felt I was desperate to find higher paying vocation. Pleased with the job I had, but thinking I wasn't getting enough hours, enough pay, enough this, enough that. And it all led to a head last night, or excuse me, yesterday, and I moved out of my hotel. I talked about it in the previous week. I have struggled with great stress and fear and anxiety over the last 3 months, ever since I moved here. Part of it was the financial bleed that the hotel was causing. Part of it, and these are good reasons, was the search for employment. But part of it was, I think, just an overall level of discomfort living here in central Illinois and not feeling like I fit here. And I still have that issue. But I'll tell you what, getting out of that hotel and getting into my car last night allowed me to sleep better, which is crazy sounding, I know. But wake with a quiet mind this morning. And I'll tell you what, it feels really good waking with a quiet mind and not being afraid or panicked or calculating, you know, days till paycheck, not, and just stressed. So I woke this morning feeling kind of quiet. Almost didn't think of going live, but who else am I going to drink my coffee with? Which gets me to this. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Sunday morning. I think it could be uh, May 10th. Happy Sunday, 7:25 a.m. and happy Mother's Day. It's also Mother's Day. Big happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I miss my mom. She was a little bit nutty, but so am I. But I know one thing about my mom is she loved me very much. And she passed about 5 years ago uh, from Alzheimer's related complications, I guess. But and I miss her. So if you're out there and you're a mom, know you're loved. Understand it's not always easy, and that I don't know. We kids can say mean things. I'm sure I probably told my mom. I laugh saying this now, but I hate you. I'll bet I said that to her. She might have said it back. And in that moment, maybe we did, but know that from a son who lost his mom 5 years ago, that I love her and I miss her. And if you're a mom out there, no matter what your relationship is today with your kids, know that deep down in their heart, they do love you. Yeah. But anyway, again, it is Sunday morning. It is May 10th. It is 7:26. Coffee with Ken is a show I have done for quite some time. It is a show about me talking, sharing some feelings, sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life, sharing the adventure of one man's life. And I'll tell you what, lived in a nice home in Wisconsin. Think my show might have got a little boring. Maybe that's why I left. I lived in a beautiful apartment in a great town that I loved, and things were getting stable for me. Didn't have much to talk about on my show. I mean, I still found things to talk about. Moved to Illinois, found more things to talk about. But anyway, for those that have been watching, well, it's not just a show about me talking. It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. Maybe I can work some sort of sponsorship deal with Casey's. Here's I'm drinking the I will be. Wait, hold on. Let's get back to the intro. There's a very large recess in the bottom of this cup. I'm wondering why. I mean, maybe it's not to give us less coffee, but it's suspicious. You know what I mean? It's like an inch deep. Makes me wonder. Maybe it's just for stacking the cups. But anyway, um, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to have my first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Ah. Oh, it's nice. No cream in it. No cream in it. In my hotel I was staying at for 3 months, I was getting a little hooked on there. They had these little blue creamers, and I put three in my Yeti every morning. You guys saw it. I think I was hooked on that creamer, and I was worried it was becoming a little bit of a problem. Like I was addicted to sweet and creamer. Scared to go to a doctor. He'd say, Ken, you're fat and you got a crazy high blood sugar rate. What have you been doing? Drinking a lot of sweet cream, sir. Doctor, you got to cut down. I'm not good at cutting down, doctor. I've got what they call an addictive personality. If I find something I like, I dive all in. All in. Um, but yeah, maybe I can work out some sort of deal with Casey's. It was $2.43 for this big cup, never mind the strange recess in the bottom, which makes me wonder. I mean, I guess if they were really worried about how much is coffee, they're not going to work out some scam to give us an ounce less coffee. But it does make you wonder. It does make you. Barry McCall knows and says it all does lead to case or to coffee. Almost said it all leads to Casey's. Maybe we could be working up a marketing program. Every road leads to Casey's. I think I first went into Casey's 2 years ago. I don't know if I'd ever been in one. I don't know if that's possible. Somewhere in Iowa or Nebraska while I was riding my scooter and got to talking with the manager there, and she was saying what a great company it is to work for. And now I have Casey's. I don't know if it's a. I have Casey's following me on my Instagram channel. They knew I was struggling for work. I posted a video where I did not so kindly discuss my being let go of a job recently, and Casey's General on Instagram hopped on and said what a great place Casey's is to work and how they offer a very good training program. But anyway, I first discovered them on my ride out to Yellowstone 2 years ago. I was in either Iowa or Nebraska, riding my scooter, needed a rest, pulled into one of these and said, wow, this is pretty cool. And their pizza's good too. Hello, Wolfie. Barry said he's a, no, he didn't say he. He said he's drunk, but he also said that I'm a good looking man. Well, Barry, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I wonder what time it is where you are at that has you drunk. Wonder what you're drinking that has you drunk. What time is it? 7:30? I know 10, 15 years ago I had a hard time sleeping and I was going golfing and I woke up and started drinking at like 6 in the morning, like Coors Lights, to try and get me in a better spirit. It's weird how that works. Bet you a lot of us get caught in that cycle. The binging, or I don't know if it's binging and purging, I don't know what it's called, but just drinking too much at night, waking up hungover, and the hair of the dog that bit you the next morning. Seems so funny that people do that. David suggests a slice of breakfast pizza. David, their slices are delicious, but what I find better than their slices is the whole pizza because you get a slice, I think, for $3. And I believe there's 6 slices to the pizza. I believe it's $12 for the whole pizza. And I'll tell you what, that's a $12 well spent, especially for a guy without a stove who slept in his car last night. I can't tell you how nice it was, how quiet it was in my mind. That I go, oh, I woke up and I go, oh, I don't have to worry about much paying my hotel. And along with that, I don't have to worry about car payments, child support payments, phone bill payments, because it's all connected because you're knocking off 40, or I was knocking off 40% of my expenses, or excuse me, 40% of my income was being eaten up by a tiny little hotel room that was just housing me. You know, if you got a family to shelter or a loved one to help share the cost of housing, I go back and forth on this. I posted a video about 2 or 3 years ago how it makes sense if you're young and living at home, go buy a nice car and live in it. And I got made fun of for it. And at times I thought I might have been crazy too. And maybe I am. But I'm telling you, it was pretty easy. And if you can't afford a car, well, you're going to need a job to either afford a car or get a house. But certainly a lot of people can't afford both. Yeah. But anyway, waking up this morning, kinda I don't even know where I parked. I parked somewhere over there. Don't ask me where I parked. I parked over there somewhere. But it was in this strange place and same time of the year that I traveled across, uh, the country on my scooter. First 2 nights, I slept under the stars, as I like to call it. Tell you what, under the stars was really cold on a yoga mat. Remember just packing up my stuff that I'd laid out and putting it back in my scooter and getting back on. Stopped at a gas station either at the end of the first night or the first morning and left my debit card there. And that created an extremely tight situation for me financially. Fortunately, I had a little bit of cash. I think I was traveling across the country with like 300 bucks in cash and maybe a few hundred in the bank. But suddenly I left my debit card and I no longer had access to the few hundred in the bank. It was frightening. Let's see. Get a lot of comments from people I don't know. Jason, oh, what are we talking? Middle J is talking about the thermal break. Is this the thermal break that you're talking about? Is that what it is? And I don't know if it's a true full inch, but I mean, it might be. I mean, it seems surprising. Is that a thermal break, did you call it? I appreciate that. I've often said I have the most intelligent audience on the internet because they know all these things. And apparently, Middle J says this gap in this weird gap. Again, it's not, I'm used to small gaps, but this one seems weirdly big. I'm not bad mouthing you, Casey's. I might need a job, and I certainly love to be a spokesman. And I love your pizza. Perhaps we need to start doing national advertisement for you with me. Who's that bald guy? I don't know. He's the spokesman for Casey's. He's not even talking. All he's doing is shoving pizza down his mouth. But don't that pizza look good? Oh yeah, it does. 12 bucks for a whole pie. Don't tell me it might not work. Let's see. Uh, I look like a bald Peter Simpson if he was thinner. First of all, I don't know who Peter Simpson is. Secondly, I don't know if you're saying I need to be thinner or Peter Simpson needs to be thinner. I live in Champaign. I mean, I guess I lived in Champaign yesterday. I lived in Urbana today. But I don't know what's with this town. And I think it's kind of a good idea. They have a ton of like electric bikes, and it's some sort of government sponsored thing to provide mobility for people. Where I don't know how it works, but there's these little green electric bikes that are just left on the side of the road. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know how they're paid for, if you need a key or what's going on. I think it starts with a V, like VOI or something like that. I don't know how it works, but people, you'll just be driving through the farm, and somebody will just leave it on the side of the road, like they got to where they wanted to go, and they are going to leave it there. And maybe some big electric bike company comes by and picks them up, and maybe they charge a little bit. I don't know how it works, but it almost looks trashy to me, honestly. Although I like the concept, just having these random like green electric bikes tipped over on the side of the road seems kind of trashy. I wonder if anyone here knows what I'm talking about. You did it once in San Antonio. It was a blast. What, ride an electric bike? I'm not against the concept of having one. I'm saying whatever system they have in place kind of looks trashy because there's a lot of them just kind of laying around. They're not like hooked up to a bike rack or something. They're just left on the side of the road. Kind of seems trashy. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. This Casey's in Urbana, Illinois, has 8 Tesla hookups. What do the other like electric cars do? I assume if you own some other electric car, you cannot hook up to a Tesla hookup. I wonder how Tesla, because obviously that helps sell their cars, that they have these electric hookups all over. And if you're a different electric car company, I think like Rivian might be an electric car company. I'll say that because it's an hour that way. They don't have like Rivian hookups. You'd hate to think that each car company would need their own special hookup. You know what I mean? But if you're Elon Musk over at Tesla, would you allow the other car companies to charge their car through your charger? Use whatever patent. I think there's got to be a patent involved in that hookup. Maybe it would. Maybe it'd help your business. Maybe you could charge something. Oh, that's nice. Am I aware of Charlie Kirk? I am aware of Charlie Kirk. There seems a trend towards former conservative broadcasters. Um, I can think of three, and I probably can't think of any of their names, that are blasting either conservatives or have become like gossip broadcasters more, have gotten even sleazier than they may have been when they were talking on Fox. There's an attractive black woman conservative. I can't think of her name offhand. She's well spoken, but she seems to go out of her way doing podcast videos about Charlie Kirk's wife and some conspiracy and this and that. And I don't know, it seems still in bad taste. I don't know if her claims are totally groundless or not. But either way, it makes me feel a little yucky and uncomfortable, and I wish she'd stop. Megan, I don't know, some good looking blonde woman. I don't know what her name is either. I saw blasting, I don't know, blasting conservative politics. And she was a former talking head of Fox News. And then there's that kind of goofy guy who has a podcast now that has a weird laugh. And that's all I got about that. Candace Owens. It is Candace Owens was the yeah, Candace Owens is ripping on Charlie Kirk's wife, and Megan something or other is the blonde woman who's ripping on I don't know, Trump probably. I think what they're doing, and I mean I guess I don't blame them, but I know if I wanted to make a video do well, I could just start talking about Trump. Either way, he moves the meter. And if you want to get viewers, probably the easiest way is to start producing content saying how much you hate him because the vitriol in this country towards him from the left is so extreme. But even on the right, if you like him, you talk about him, and there's a lot of strong support there as well. I'm telling you, the whole country's going to be bored in 2029 when he is no longer in office. And we got like Marco Snooze Rubio in there. Not saying Marco Rubio wouldn't be a good president necessarily. I don't know much about him, but relatively kind of boring. I'm sure I wouldn't like Gavin Newsom's politics. I am sure about that. But at least he'd be sort of interesting, I think. Uh, let's see. Lisa Marie said she can't stand Trump, but her 401k is doing fantastic. That stings, Lisa Maria. Dustin says his approval ratings are at all-time low, something like 34%. So it's not just the left. I don't even know if I believe the approval ratings so much. I kind of think if there was an election today, Trump would win again. No matter what approval ratings you throw at me, I'm going to say if there was an election today, Trump would win again. So shove that up your approval ratings. And that's not that's not me arguing for him or anything. I just got a hunch. Lisa Maria said there are no good options from the other side. Well, I think I fully blame. Sorry, Julie Flanagan. Again, I've said it many times. I blame the left for Trump being in there. Find me a JFK. Heck, find me a Bill Clinton. Trump's not in there. You throw a Biden or a Kamala at me, Kamala. I'm certainly not going to vote for Gavin Newsom. I'll tell you that either. But he would make it kind of interesting. Last time you were in Champaign, we were changing lights at the Solo Cup company. Amazing how many cups are being made per day. Oh, the red Solo Cup? Those are good. Horrible, got to be horrible for the environment, don't they? Because they're so strong and sturdy that, um, yeah, they must last forever. They must never biodegrade, but they are good. It's almost a shame to buy them and like throw them out after each use. They're almost good enough to keep. I mean, for a guy that lives, I'm almost saying I live in my car with great pride. I mean, it's only been about, I mean, I got off work yesterday. And I guess after work, I started living in my car. But it hasn't really, it's been about 12 hours. I mean, look at me in, I don't know, a week. I'll start looking like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Aviator. Long fingernails, unshaven. What was that movie? Who was that? Who was that about? The guy that had, I think, founded Delta Airlines or something like that. What was The Aviator? It was the billionaire Hughes, Howard Hughes. It was about Howard Hughes. Good morning, Fred Hinkle. Barry asked, living for good or just a weekend? Well, not a permanent situation. but I needed to breathe. I've been working hard as a bartender waiter, and I realized the first, I don't know, 2 shifts each week were going towards me having a hotel room that I could sleep in. And, okay, just think about that. Does that make good sense to you? I don't think anyone would think that that makes good sense, putting 40% of your money into a tiny hotel room that's not big enough to have your kids come, or obviously a hotel room that you can't cook. So you can't really live there. It's not a home. It is a place to sleep. Lisa Maria said the price of housing is absurd, even for those of us that are doing well with full-time work. Uh, well, what does doing well and full-time work mean, Lisa Maria? Yeah, it is expensive. And it is, I was just talking to some people in Casey's, and was talking to them about Central Illinois. I'm telling you, you want to be shocked about overpriced place. Come to Central Illinois. Am I back at the Super 8? I don't know what that means. I mean, I don't know that I've ever actually stayed in a Super 8, have I? In all my travels, maybe on the way home from Yellowstone, on the border of Montana and South Dakota, I might have stayed in a Super 8. I almost think I did, but I'm not sure that I did. But outside of that, I don't know if I've ever stayed in a Super 8. You guys can fact check me. The videos are there. They're talking about 40 and 50-year loans on houses, obviously. I read something about never ending loans. Barry said he thought I lived in a high class apartment. It was a deluxe apartment in the sky, high, high. Because I was moving on up. Did anyone get that? Did anyone get that? What I, the reference I made? I thought it was rather witty. Somebody give me the reference I made there, please. We got 56 people watching. We got 14 thumbs up. By the way, I don't want to make it about the thumbs up. There we go, Lisa Maria, said the Jeffersons. Thank you. Yeah, it was the Jeffersons. Thank you. We got 56 people watching. We got 14 thumbs up. I think we could do a little better on the thumbs up. Well, you said Barry, what did you say? You thought I lived in a high class apartment. I said it was actually a deluxe apartment in the sky, high, high. Because I was moving on up. And that's where I left it. But that's from the intro song to the Jeffersons, a spin-off of All in the Family. Just imagine George Jefferson and Archie Bunker like being neighbors. Yes. That was a good show. You are too young if you're 27, Barry, but I'll tell you what. All in the Family was a good show. It was a simpler time. It was a nice time. We'd gather as a family and watch shows on our TVs. We wouldn't all be in our rooms on our phones staring at them. What's happened to society? What has happened to society? Am I just a profiteer of it? Me with my massive revenue I create from my content creation? Did I tell you how massive the revenue is? Barry, if you're 27, you didn't get the best of both worlds. You were born in obviously 1999 or whatever. Would I want to be born today? I mean, I guess being born is a blessing, I guess. But I'm glad I lived back when I did. I'm glad I can remember the Jefferson song and Archie Bunker and watching TV and having to change the channel by getting up. The time before Teslas and electric bikes and cell phones and GPS, and we used maps. And there used to be a joke that men would never stop and ask for directions. It still might be floating around there, but now men would never need to stop and ask for directions. I do get to clean up at the crunch. Hello, good morning, Bill. How are you? You grew up in the era of sex, drugs, alcohol, and rock and roll, said Fred Hinkle. Did I? When was that era? I mean, is that the 70s or the 60s? Lisa Maria says she doesn't know how she would raise kids in this technology age. It's concerning. Yeah. I think you can get away from it though. Maybe. Yeah, no, it's easy for us to use iPads as a babysitter for our kids. I mean, I'm probably guilty of it occasionally. If I'm at a restaurant with my little son Augie or something, I might give him my cell phone if he's getting little rambunctious so he can watch YouTube. It's easy to do that, and I don't know what my thoughts are about it, but it's easy to do it. Barry said, you wish there was a government mandate to restrict social media for a year. But what sort of restriction would there be, Barry? What sort of restriction would you want? Like a total banning of it? I mean, I think that'd be funny. Again, I'm not for many laws or big government, but yeah, like we couldn't use our cell phones, or they just would be phones. We couldn't even text. No FaceTiming, no texting, no GPS. Like if something happened and whatever is causing all this went away. Just don't take away my coffee, please. Don't. Don't. It's good for me. It's hydrating. Bill said I get to clean up at the crunch. Bill is an inspiration to me. I think he's got a couple of years on me, and I think he had a serious health scare a few years ago. And rather than let that health scare get him down, he went back into the gym and worked out hard and got his body in shape. Um, and I'm kind of doing that a little bit as well. And he and I both belong to Crunch Fitness. Being the part of the reason I'm going is to shower, and the Crunch Fitness I work out isn't as clean as the Planet Fitness I have. Almost wish I belonged to a Planet Fitness today, but I will go to this Crunch Fitness. I'll get a workout in. I will shower. I might shave, although I think I look very handsome with this slight white flecked facial hair. Dare I say sexy? Barry wants rid of TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, but we're going to allow YouTube. I like that. How self serving. Yes, get rid of TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Those are bad. Well, here on YouTube, it's a nice, safe platform. Mirelle wants her games to, she wants to play Candy Crunch still. I've never played a game of Candy Crunch. I remember I used to get hooked on maybe 10, 15 years ago, these war games where you'd build up armies and you'd invade and you could do it faster by buying like gems. You'd have to actually start paying for things. But it was really dumb, but it was majorly addictive and I was totally hooked. So I don't know what else I have for you other than waking up today over there somewhere, over there somewhere. Reminded me a lot of waking up when I was driving or riding to Yellowstone. Didn't know where exactly I was going to get my coffee. Didn't know exactly what my schedule was. At least when I was riding to Yellowstone, I knew I'd be sitting on the bike the rest of the day. Today, I said, okay, well, let's find a gas station. I knew this one was here. This was not an accident. Let's go to Crunch Fitness. Let's get a workout. Never showered there before, so I'm going to have to figure that out. I mean, shouldn't be that hard. I assume the water knobs look the same. But and if I time works out, I might catch the 10:45 church service at a church in Champaign that I've gone to a few times. I don't love the churches I go to here in Champaign. There's not, I mean, they're not like bad, but I almost loved the one I went to in Naperville, the Yellow Box. The pastor, the musicians, the people. I have not found that. I kind of found it. I liked it a lot, the one I went to in Appleton. I might have to move from Champaign just to find another church. It's like a holy quest. Ken, why'd you leave Champaign? Couldn't find a darn good church with a good band, with the right preacher, free coffee. Seriously. I'm not working today. I was talking to my boss as I was leaving work last night, and she said, I wish we could have you working tomorrow. And I go, well, can you? I'm not doing anything. And she goes, well, no, because if you work tomorrow, you'd be scheduled 7 days in a row. I can't do that. They must have a rule that they can't have us working 7 days in a row, which I kind of appreciate and like that you A, wanted me in there, and B, is scheduling me to my fullest at this point. And if I'm working 6 or 7 days each week, and I don't have any housing expenses, let's just say I make 1,000 a week. Hopefully, it's more than that, but let's just say it's 1,000. Should leave something left for me at the end of the month. Save up. Did we talk about the RV I thought about buying? What may you ask? Why I pick Champaign over other towns? Yeah. You mean other towns in central Illinois? I moved to central Illinois to get closer to my kids. Why I pick Champaign? I went to school here. I thought it would be neat. I thought they'd get. Um, I mean, obviously, I have good memories of football games and what have you. I thought it'd be reasonably affordable. I thought the job market would be solid because it's a pretty good sized town. And I thought it would be a good place to live overall. My other towns I was really considering were like Springfield, Bloomington, Champaign. I never really considered Decatur. I thought about like Mattoon or Charleston because I don't know, seemed kind of cute and small townish. Um, but that's the reason, and it has not been. I've been honestly disappointed here. I don't like it here. It is has a huge poverty rate, a fair amount of crime, and I find the town unappealing and expensive. When I moved to Appleton, I drove around that first week and I go, wow, look at this home. It's cute. I could imagine myself living here. I can't imagine myself living anywhere that I've been in this area, really. Farmer City, I thought was kind of quaint. It's a little town, I don't know, 25 minutes from here, but it'd be a tiny little town in central Illinois. But Appleton was cool. It had a vibrant downtown and a lot of things to do, and bars and restaurants and farmers markets and auto shows and no kings rallies and cool apartments, and had a lot of really nice things to it. And I have not felt like Champaign's home for me at all. Do I still have school friends that live nearby? I have one that lives nearby. Most of my friends have don't live in Champaign anymore. But I have one friend that I've seen a couple times since I've been here, and we talk maybe once a week or so. That lives. He doesn't live in Champaign. He lives in a town called Mahomet outside of Champaign. Most of the people I work with do not live in Champaign. The job I got fired from had four people that I worked with, my boss and three people that were sales reps. None of them lived in Champaign. I mean, I'm telling you, you talk to those people, they'll tell you they live in St. Joe or Philo or Mahomet. Here is mostly students, and I'm going to guess a large swath of the town is government housing, and it's impoverished and probably high crime. Dave Reed said, check Monticello out. Dave, I did. It's really cute. And I actually looked into a house for rent there that's not available till June. But Monticello is super cute. It looks like it could be from a movie. It's got an old train going through and a big silo. I think it's a grain silo. I don't know. But yeah, no, Monticello was super cute. It's still not cheap, David. Um, yeah, no, it's still not cheap. I think the problem with Central Illinois is it's in Illinois. And yes, it's cheaper than the suburbs of Chicago and Chicago itself. But I'll say, as somebody that might be biased because I grew up there, the suburbs of Chicago are pretty awesome and nice, and the homes are beautiful, and the parks are great, and the schools are great. So I can understand. I would just figure with infinite farmland around here that the housing would be much cheaper than it is. And I've been surprised by that. I seem like I look rich. When you say I seem like I look rich, couldn't you just say I look rich? Maybe get the seam out of it. I can hang around country clubs. There's three country clubs in here. It's strange. And I was thinking about it. I was wondering, I think there's one public golf course in Champaign, Urbana, and it's the university course. It's called Atkins, but there's three private country clubs in Champaign Urbana, and for a town, it's just strange. It's strange. There's no, and the Atkins golf course, which is that way somewhere, is pretty expensive. So they don't have any in Champaign Urbana moderately priced golf course. They have three private courses and one fairly high end public course. It's just weird. I can't imagine how this town has three country clubs, private country clubs. Honestly, I mean, if there's something out there that's that shows a separation of classes and wealth, it's probably private country clubs where the common folk, even guys like me, can't get in. I'd probably be hassled less at the gate because I seem like I look rich. Monticello has Allerton Park, nice downtown square, good churches, good schools. Yeah, no, Dave, it is nice. I think it's like 25 minutes or so, but I've been there once, and again, uh, I actually had an appointment to see a one bedroom a couple weeks ago there in some old hotel right in the downtown. I canceled the appointment because I wasn't ready to move into a one bedroom. A one bedroom won't suffice because I need space for my little ones. If I'm going to stick around here, I want to have my kids with me as often as I can. And being in a tiny little um, apartment won't do it. It kind of worked up in Wisconsin because I had a big apartment. But ideally, I'd love to have a two bedroom somewhere. And yeah, no, I agree. Monticello is very nice. Super cute downtown. Barry, are you the one that's been drinking already? I think Barry made a long comment right now. I won't read it because it'll make me blush. Well, we have a glorious audience this Sunday morning. We got 49 people watching. We got 22 thumbs up. If anybody out there watching, even if you don't like me, please do me a favor and double tap that screen. Give me a couple more thumbs up. I bet you we could get to 25 thumbs up within a minute. But you know me, I won't ever be satisfied. You get me to 25 thumbs up, you know what I want next? 26 and then 30. That's the way my mind works. I will tell you what, it was quiet. My mind was quiet this morning. Felt a little weird. I'd wake up. I had the I had the seat back. When I first found my spot, I have two beautiful little ones. They're not in the car. That I might get in trouble for that. But I had their car seats in, and I put my chair back or my seat back, and I wasn't sure it was going back as far as it could. And there was a car seat behind me, and I got up and got it out. I think I didn't buy a real expensive car seat. So the attachments to the car, I don't know if you know what I mean, but you got to push down hard and release, make it get longer, the belt. I think that's, oh my gosh. I think that's maybe part of the problem of buying low cost car seat. Hopefully the safety's fine. but the little things you do to hook the car seat in the car are a pain in the butt. It's like a Tesla breeding lot. We got 4 parked over there now, and we had just 1 pull out. My brother owns a Tesla, my buddy does. I drove it once. He'd been drinking, and I drove us home, and I didn't even know how to start the car. I go, "Wait a minute. What do you do?" Have you guys driven a Tesla? Have you driven a Tesla without owning a Tesla where you know how to get it going? But I don't remember exactly what was different, but there was no something. It wasn't just like pushing a button. But okay, I don't think there was a shifter. Do another Casey's ad. You want me to do another Casey's ad? All right, let's do a Casey's ad. Let's do a Casey's ad. It's going to be a little shaky, so I don't expect them to use it. But let's pretend we're doing a Casey's ad. Hello there. My name's Ken Tracy, and my favorite gas station that I've come across in all my travels is Casey's General Store. It offers awesome pizza, delicious coffee, friendly staff, and what many people may or may not know is if you are a e-vehicle, if you own a Tesla, they have this Casey's alone has 8, count them, 8 charging stations for your Tesla. So not only do you get great pizza, great coffee, smiles when you're paying for your gas, but if you don't need to pay for your gas, just come on down and plug right in. You're going to have a great time and be super thankful that you came to Casey's. How was that? Somebody send that. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good given I had no script. I thought of several reasons to come to Casey's. My one issue was I was talking about paying for gas and smiles, and then I realized these Teslas, don't pay for gas. Do they get charged? I didn't even think of really the irony that these charging stations are in a gas station. You know what I mean? Do they charge them for that? Seems they'd have to. I mean, there's only one car getting gas, and there's 4 cars getting electric charging. They got it. They must. Maybe Tesla pays to have them there because there must be some compensation for Casey's. Um, Maybe they think they're going to go in and buy sodas or chips or stuff, but surely they can't only be making money off these Teslas by selling cups of coffee, I don't think. Who knows? Hmm. Lisa said gas stations make all their money on snacks and drinks. I mean, I'm sure it'd be easy to figure out how much they make on gas, but yeah, I wouldn't be totally shocked. They got to make something on gas. You got to sell a lot of snacks. You know, this is a big hunk of real estate on a in a prime corner relatively. Uh, Maybe you're right. I don't know. No, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm sure their margins are much higher on that, but they got to make something on the gas. But again, there's only one car getting gas. I mean, I'm making fun of these Teslas for being freeloaders. I didn't get gas either, but I did get coffee. I brought some change in. I got a I got a lot of change in my car. I would like to winnow that amount of change down a little bit because I need cash. Money's tight, and when you have like nearly infinite amounts of change, hazard of being a waiter. It's nice though. Now that I'm in the car, I'll use the quarters when I do my laundry. Wonder how long. What would you say the over under is on how long I'm living in my car? I've done 1 day right now. I'm very positive. I feel fresh. I feel good. What would you say the over under is of me in my car? It's funny to speculate on my own life with strangers. Maybe Bill's there. He's not a stranger. If Julie's there, she's not a stranger. Wonder if I've met anybody else here. There's 52 people watching. I know Julie was on. I know Bill was on, and I met both of them. But either way, what's the over under? Wait, Barry said 200. Okay, Jason said a month. I think a month is a good guess, Jackson. I would say the over under would be a month as well. I think that'd be where I'd put it. Barry said two. Is that 200 days? Jackson said till I find work and get my first full check. Well, I'm working a lot, you know. But I'd say a month seems about right because a month I'll probably go, okay, well, that was fun. But at least it'll be a month of sanity where I'm going, okay, I'm not worried about every bill under the sun and I put some money in my bank account or my pocket. Because that's a hellish way to live. Again, I was talking to somebody the other day and said, and I've been there, I've had money, and believe me, I know a lot of people with money are struggling in other ways. But being broke sucks. And I would say now that I'm living in my car, I'm not broke because I'm no longer squandering 40% of my income on a tiny little hotel room. So if I wanted to go out to dinner tonight or something, I could. I don't because I still want to hoard a little bit. Because I might want to buy that RV, but I don't think so. What do you guys think about RVs? Jackson said, so I'm there by choice. Yeah. I guess I am here by choice. I could have continued doing what I wanted, what I was, and that was scraping by, working hard, barely being able to cover my bills, worrying about the hotel and the car payment and the credit card payment and every bill that humans have, and finding a way to make it work. Um, I said, "This is stupid. This hotel room is a prison to me. It's not a uh, place of peace or anything like that." Oh, so wait, what else were we going to say? We did the over under a month, and somebody said 200 days. Maybe you guys are bored with me, and that's okay if you are. I do need to go to the gym. I get to go to the gym. And what's my work? I'm a bartender server right now. Wouldn't be necessarily my it's been my job for the last 2 years. I had done it various times in my life, and I was a realtor most of my life, my adult life, and left real estate about 3 years ago, and be, became a a server again at 54, 55 years old when I rode out to Yellowstone. Realized I kind of liked it, was kind of good at it, and paid pretty well. Barry says car salesman would be great for me. I don't know. I'm not sure people make as much as people think in the car sales business. I think the top guys do real well. I wonder if you got to be a little bit sleazy to be a car salesman and sell things that people don't need, like extended warranties and cleaning packages and stuff. I think that's where the dealers make a lot of their money. Hey man, nice shirt says RV isn't the move in your opinion. And I'm kind of agreeing with you. Uh hey man, nice shirt. Because I was thinking about it this morning. There's an RV for sale for 8 grand. And it's got a trailer on it so I could hook my car to it and drive around a little bit. But I'm not totally sure that I would take it for free because an RV almost ties me down in a way I might not want to be tied down. Right now, I could pick up and drive to Bloomington Normal or Springfield or wherever and look for work and not worry about housing and or to Bozeman, Montana. And that's kind of a nice feeling. But with the RV, and I guess the biggest downside, well, there's two. The gas would be a lot. But I mean, you're saving on housing, so you should be able to afford the gas. You'd have maintenance issues. Lisa said I'd be good, successful in any sales. Uh, I don't know. I don't know that I'd be. I think you might need to be sleazy in a lot of sales positions. And I want to give things away. Jackson said the good thing about an RV is that it's yours. The bad is that you have to pay for a place to park it. Yeah. I mean, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. Trade the car for a van that I could live in it. Well, I do live in it. I know I'm only a day in it, but I mean, I don't need to trade the car for a van. That just involves, that's a money loser right there. And I don't want to make this a permanent thing. But I talk about it, not hoping to inspire, but just going, hey, life can beat you down sometimes. Lisa Maria was saying that she struggles with housing as well. And she's got a regular job, if you will. I think a lot of people that aren't, I think to afford housing in this world, in this day and age, you almost need to be in a relationship where, like, say, Lisa and I were lovers, and we, that word creeps me out. Sorry, Lisa. And we wanted to, I don't know, rent a home, buy a home. We could afford it because we got two incomes. Either that or you gotta be in a job that pays a heck of a lot, and I'm not. I'm not in a relationship, and Lisa and I aren't lovers. The country is going to bleep. He's quoting Rage Against the Machine. But Rage Against the Machine, I actually talked about that yesterday. I talked about that yesterday, and it's very that I think there's something more when Rage Against the Machine was popular, what, like 25, 30 years ago? I mean, they might still be popular now, but they're all old dudes. Their rage has tempered a little bit. But I think there's clearly a quickly growing divide between the haves and the have-nots, where a lot of people are struggling to rent an apartment, even. And maybe it's just because I'm immersed in it myself, but I have been for a few years now. That a lot of people are struggling to, yeah, just have basic, and no amount of working at this Casey's is going to get them a home even around here. So there's a growing divide between the people that have money, because we're getting, billionaires are coming, and we're going to have the first trillionaire in the next couple of years, probably. I don't know who it'll be, but and those trillionaires can buy up tons and tons and tons of homes and rent them out to us. And again, I am a capitalist and I am a free market guy. But I'm wondering if revolution is the ultimate form of capitalism and free market, where things just kind of get worked out without any government intervention. How about we get a couple more thumbs up? This is my inaugural from Casey's, um, from my car, Coffee with Ken. Got about a 15-minute drive to Crunch Fitness. Barry said it's bad right now in your area. I wonder where your area is. Hey man, nice shirt seemed very hostile all of a sudden. Even swore. Barry said 1,200 is the minimum for a good area. Yeah, no, I'd say you could maybe find an okay apartment for 1,200 here. Maybe I found a pretty okay-ish, but I mean, it wasn't very okay. It had water standing in the basement, and it had trees growing out of the gutter, and it was 1,500 bucks, and I was excited about it. Slidell, Louisiana is expensive. If if Slidell, Louisiana, and no offense, Louisianans, but I would imagine Louisiana is one of the poorest states in the country. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being poor, but I would just guess Slidell, Louisiana. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's super rich in oil money, but I just never thought of Louisiana as super expensive. Oh, it's a nice area. All right. But anyway, I wonder how long I could sit here and talk and have 53 people watching ish. And I wonder how much revenue does me talking an hour generate on YouTube? I think I usually, for my lives, I usually get paid like $5, and they're usually about an hour. So let's say I'm not working today. Say I sat here in this Casey's just for fun and sat here for 10 hours. Would I make $50 from the live? I'm not saying that would be 10 hours well spent, but I'm just running the numbers, the possibility. Would my audience grow? Would the 50 shrink down to, would you guys get bored? Or would new people hop on? If I had the endurance to talk for 10 hours, would my audience grow? Would I get new subscribers? Would that the way I really hit it big? Oh, you were responding to the Rage Against the Machine comment. I get you. Yeah, no, it seems surprisingly hostile all of a sudden from you. Nice shirt. Hello, Ron Louther. How are you? What time is it? Hold on. I think I put my watch. It's a good idea to figure out where your stuff's going to be um, when you're living in your car. Because one of the hardest things is when you kind of lose track of your stuff. I mean, it's not the hardest thing, but it's nice to know that each thing has a spot and a place. And I've decided my wallet and watch go right there. Although my wallet's right here. Got myself a jug of water. Actually, I bought 2 jugs of water at Walmart yesterday. A few cans of chicken too. I think you need more interesting content. That hurts. Wait, what are you talking about, Lisa Maria? She said, I have somebody who's been watching and participating the whole time, said, I think you need more interesting content. How about a nighttime routine as you get ready for bed in the van? You'd watch that. I don't even understand what that comment means, Lisa Maria. You're watching right now, right? What does that mean? You'd watch that? You're watching this. Uh, Certainly, you can understand the irony of what you're saying, Lisa, right? I don't even know if that's a hater comment, but the irony's still getting me. I'm not saying my content's great. You'd be curious. No, I get it, Lisa, but you said I'd need more interesting content. And if I did something else, you'd watch. You're watching, and I'm not doing something else. I think I could sit here for 10 hours and my audience would grow and I'd get tired. It would be hard to continue to talk. But I think I'd have new people hop on. Granted, the setting's not changing a whole lot, but I think the longer I talk, the quicker my show would grow and the more revenue it would generate. I don't think I want to work a job in a traditional sense ever again. I think what happened with me a few weeks ago, where when I'm working as a waiter, when I'm working as a realtor, as a stockbroker, a car salesman, I am providing value to the company that I am working for. When I am working training as a B2B sales rep guy that's just kind of in this lost in the shuffle, I'm not immediately providing value. Do you know what I mean? And when a person like me, is not immediately providing value, I'm loud, obnoxious, I draw attention to myself, I might screw up and say the wrong things from time to time. And they're going, wow, this guy's not making us any money. He's him, love him or hate him. Let's just get rid of him. They notice me. Versus if you're kind of quiet, they might not even notice you and they'll go, okay, little Johnny's doing what he's supposed to be doing over there. He's just quietly watching his training videos. We're not even going to notice that we're paying him. But me, I'm going, hey, when do we start cold calling for some new business? And suddenly I'm a troublemaker, or I'm taking out the garbage at the office. Little Johnny watching the training videos, I promise, is not taking out the garbage. But I'm going, hey, these garbages are overflowing, so I'm going to take them out. So almost I'm causing trouble by doing more, if that makes sense. Because I'm breaking the status quo. The status quo is sitting there with garbages overflowing, and I'm in there going, these garbages are overflowing. Let me go find a bag and take it out. And in some way, that's shining a light on the people that aren't doing that. So I can't tone that down and just be little Johnny watching the training video. I'm going to be me taking out the garbage, asking, hey, how about when, do you guys cold call for new business at all? And I get let go. So because of that, that friction I feel, the resistance to doing more that exists in established jobs that offer benefits and pay a salary, there's a resistance to doing more. And if there's a resistance to doing more, I'm going to keep butting into that resistance anywhere I go because I'm going to take the garbage out. I'm going to wonder, hey, when do we get to go for some new business? It's one thing to go into these businesses and, take their orders again. Why don't we knock on some doors of businesses we don't do business with? And they're all looking, going, oh, he's a troublemaker. He doesn't fit in. And maybe I don't. I probably don't. But as a waiter, as a car salesman, a broker, or a realtor, or, you know, you have to go hunting. You have to make a difference. You have to make a change. You're not supposed to just fit in because I don't fit in. And trying to put myself in a job where I'm told to do something quietly that doesn't occupy my mind or body in a way, you tell me to dig a hole, I'll dig a hole. But if you tell me to watch somebody dig a hole, I'm probably going to go crazy. Hello from Western Australia. How are you? Barry said 33 likes for sitting a car is not bad, Ken. Yeah, well, not bad. No, I know I got an audience. I got like 11,000 people subscribe to me on YouTube. And I'm barely trying. I mean, I put in some time, but I'm not doing high. I don't have a microphone or, you know, I'm just me drinking some coffee and talking. I don't have polished videos. I don't do it all day. You think she means watching someone just talk for an hour is sustainable, but much more than that, you'd have to do something else. Nancy M., I'm not sure that's proven. That might be what she's saying. But okay, are you going to watch somebody all day doing anything, Nancy M? I hope you answer me on that at Nancy M. Are you going to watch anybody doing anything all day? I would hope not. I would hope you, Nancy M., and Lisa Maria have something other to do than watch me do anything all day. Even if it is super interesting. I assume most of us have some things to do. What I'm saying is, I don't expect everybody to sit around all day. But I think if I did this, the longer I did this, the more the audience would grow. I'm kind of curious. I don't want to keep doing it. I mean, I don't not want to, but my coffee's running a little low. I do have a gimbal. I could hook up to the gimbal, walk in, get a refill. I mean, at some point though, I wanted to work out and shower. Maybe I don't need to go to church today. Maybe that's it. I'll just write off church today. Well, Nancy, I'm now okay. You say you wouldn't, right? Yeah, you're not gonna watch. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, even if I'm hang gliding or something really cool. You're not gonna watch me hang glide all day. But I'm gonna call you out, Nancy. You said you watch because of the time I'm on in the morning. It fits your schedule. Nancy I think you're degrading the quality of the content a little bit. You're not giving me enough credit by saying that. You're saying you watch because it fits your schedule. You watch because you find my show interesting. What do I think about Eastern Orthodoxy? Nothing. I don't know what that is. You're here. You followed my story for quite a while, and it's fascinating. You're here to watch me progress. Yeah, and sometimes you take two steps. You take a step back to take two steps forward. So, Lisa, you're not here to watch me do something else either. What I'm saying is, I think if I did go live for 8 hours, my audience would in 8 hours I'd have 100 people watching. I might be going, but I would be, and I'd probably get $100 from YouTube. That'd be a lot of tiring for $100. But I do have the day off, and I need the money, and really nothing else scheduled. See a motorcycle riding over there. I would like to have a scooter again. Well, we got six. See, we've got it. We've got it. We got 60 people watching. That's the first time we hit that today. It has been slowly growing the whole time I've done my show. My point, though, Nancy, is it's not just because it fits your schedule. I mean, I appreciate your well wishes. My point is there's something interesting. Well, I probably would feel good if I went and got a workout. Nancy wants me to stay on, test my theory because you're curious. Ron said my public interview lives were very entertaining. Okay, yeah, no, I agree, Ron. They are, and I think I'm a pretty good interviewer, to be honest, if I may. I was driving from my. I was driving into a Walmart yesterday to pick up some bottled water and I don't know, get some things to eat, I guess. And there was a woman with a sign that said any money will, or anything will help, and she had a dog with her at the intersection. And I pulled up and I gave her a couple bucks. And I was actually thinking about parking in the Walmart and staying in that Walmart parking lot. I did not, but I was thinking about it. And first of all, I wish I would have told her, I'm homeless and I'm giving you money. So you're not alone, lady. But secondly, I thought about like doing an interview with her and seeing how having her share her story in some way and maybe shining a light on issues in America or issues, that maybe you guys or we don't fully get. Um, Usually those happen kind of spontaneously. About a year ago, I was in Appleton, and a homeless guy named Joe came up and started talking, and it was a real nice interview. I've had a lot of little mini interviews with people like the No Kings rally, talking to people about, what brought them out and why they're so passionate about their politics or whatever. I think I do a fairly good job of keeping an open mind to other people's thoughts and opinions, not necessarily about me. Have I ever watched Soft White Underbelly? No. Jim Rat, thank you for being here. And you are right about that, Jim Rat. This is an absolutely glorious audience with 61 people watching and 38 thumbs up. We're almost doing a theory. Hey, Chris is here. We got apartment 420. Hey, and anybody new here, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day for all the moms out there. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day. I'm sure being a mom has some trying times. I'm sure me and my brothers and sister put my mom through hell at various times. And my mom passed 5 years ago, and I hope she knows she was loved, despite the troubles, the issues that our family had. So if you're out there and you're a mom and you're thinking that you could have been a better mom, a different mom, June Cleaver, whatever, know that you matter and you are loved, even though your kids might not tell you as often as they should. Oh, hey, Ron Lauter, thank you. Ron Lauter sent $5 and said, smash that like. I'm going to like your super chat, Ron Lauter. I would have a hard time not liking that comment. Part of me is wondering, I could get out my gimbal, I could walk into Casey's, get a refill on my coffee, and keep this going. Jim Rad and Chris, uh, I slept in my car last night. It was wonderful, by the way. It was wonderful. I was at peace. I woke quiet. For the last 3 months, I've been in this tiny little hotel, spending $1,500 a month. I'm working as a bartender, waiter. My first two shifts of every week have been going to cover housing, and my housing was just a small little hotel room. And the money I had left over was keeping me grasping for air, or trying to struggle for air. But anyway, I slept in my car last night and it felt great. But I'm here without anything to do today because I'm off and it's Mother's Day. And my boss said they're slammed and she needs me, but she can't schedule me because it'd be 7 days in a row and I can't do that. So anyway, I'm sitting here talking to you guys and wondering, if I talk, the longer I talk, will the audience continue to grow? And I think on a typical video I do every day, it's usually about 40 minutes to an hour. And YouTube pays me maybe $5. And I'm wondering, and I'm not going to because I'd get tired. But if I talked for, let's say, 8 hours, at the end of 8 hours, would I have 100 or 200 people watching? And would YouTube, instead of paying me $5, pay me $50 or something like that? Not that $50 or $5 an hour is worth it, but I'm just wondering if how the math would play out. You know what I'm saying? And if my audience grew, if I picked up, say, 50 subscribers in 8 hours of talking, And who knows? Maybe it'd be exponential. Maybe it'd grow more quickly because I'd be getting new people. And I'm just wondering if it'd be worth it. Because again, I'm sitting in central Illinois. Part of me wants to go work out, shower, get ready for the rest of my day. But if I don't do that, I'd be tempted to like drive to, I don't know. I hear Columbus, Indiana is pretty cool. And part of me, I almost feel I'm having like an allergic reaction to Illinois being back here. Yeah. It can't hurt to try it. How many super chats? Nice point. Well, we've got one glorious super chat. Yeah, but I wouldn't do it for the money because I don't think the money. But I mean, money's good. I make I don't know $7 a day on YouTube. It's not a ton of money, but it's not horrible. I mean, I'll tell you what. When that check comes in every month, I'm glad I get that check. It pleases me. Nancy says, "Go for it." Well, I have something to lose. I'm going to get tired. I need to get coffee. I'm not sure if I can walk in there with my gimbal. Well, there's only one way to find out. I mean, it might be kind of awkward. I've already talked to them. I won't interview them unless they want to be on. Should I go get another cup of coffee? Should I go get another coffee? Thomas Bello, thank you for hopping on. If anybody new here, please like or subscribe. Here's my computer bag. Where's my gimbal? I think I put it in here. I put my two Bibles in here because I wanted to know where they were. Here's my gimbal. We're just thinking about it. We're not necessarily doing it. We're thinking about getting a refill on my coffee. Jim Rat said, of course I should. Ron said you should ask permission to record first. Yeah, I would. I won't record them, even though I see it's fairly illegal. Makes me feel like I'm putting something together that's really fancy. Just do it, says Fred Hinkle. Well, I know it was $2.43. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect 43 cents for my change with as small a currency as I can. That's 35. What do you do with pennies? They're like discontinuing pennies. But what the heck do we do with them? If I find a penny, I pick it up. What if they give free refills? Probably not. It'd be super cool if they did. Go interview one of the people charging their Tesla. Uh, I mean, I think that I'd have a lot to ask them. Part of me wants to do this, and because people will ask, well, what's your dream job? I want my job to make a difference. I think doing coffee with Ken makes a difference. It entertains you, makes you have hope, hopefully inspires you to do something, go to the gym, live your screwiest, craziest life, whatever it might be. But hopefully, I know it makes a difference. Not to everybody, but I can't fix everybody. To do it, I don't know what my point is. My point is I should go get some more coffee. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. We'll just see how this goes. What do you think? Refill is less money, said Ron. Do you know that to be true, Ron? I'm gonna maybe let's go. Let's go. Hold on here. I'm wearing my sweatpants. which don't have very secure pockets. I'm gonna have to. What do I got to do here? This isn't as easy as it looks. So I'm gonna take you off this, pop you on this. Hey there. How are you guys? Click that button. See what happens. Whoopsie. There you are. I'm already uncomfortable. You can't get any more uncomfortable. What do I have to lose? Ron is telling me that I get cheap refills. Let's try. There we go. Oh, my legs are sore. Hey, can I get a refill? Here we are at Casey's. If I go long enough, I might get myself a pizza. And I'm not going to get just one slice or two slices. I would get a whole damn pizza. I'm going to walk in and see if they have any issue with it. There's people walking in. I'm going to let them walk in first because they might not want to be on video. I'm going to let them do it. But I'm going to go in and get my coffee. Hey, you're so cool. Thank you very much. I'm going to go get myself some coffee over here and do this. There you go. Hello. I'm going to try the salted caramel coffee. I'm going to get a large, and I'm filling it all the way up to the rim. Hello there. Just to let you know, I'm doing a video there. So you can be in it. I just wanted to warn you if you're uncomfortable. You can say hi. You want to say hi? What's your name? Come on in. James, come on in and say hi.
I do. Happy Mother's Day out there.
There you go.
Happy
James.
Mother's Day, everyone.
Are you blessed to have your mother still around?
Blessed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. Celebration for her.
Okay. I lost my mother about 5 years ago. And so Mother's Day is still a touching holiday for me.
We know where they at.
Yes, we do, James. Thank you for hopping on. Grab this. Hop over here. Brian being sticker. Waiting in line. Kind of awkward. They got a slice of pizza. It's like sausage. Hello again. Do you guys charge less for a refill of coffee? Well, how much? All right, well, I'm getting a refill of coffee. Ron Lauther told me you did, so I came in to get some. $1.99. I say 44 cents. Thank you. Oh, I don't even want. I was just wondering. Do you want some pennies? Darn it! I was trying to get rid of them. Thank you so much. Have a good day. I think she might have called me weird. She didn't even give me the penny. So I was asking about the pennies. And it comes to the point that they won't even give you a penny. You know, it feels, since it's legal currency, that you can almost make a stink about it. You know what I mean? Going, wait, but you owe me a penny. They just write them off. Kind of interesting. All right, we've done it. We have done it. I am back. I am back. I did get the refill rate. Hold on here. Let me try and undo this, folks, without losing you. Ah! There you are. All right, there we go. We made it. That wasn't too painful. I think the lady behind the desk wasn't super down with the thought of being on video, but she wasn't. I was respectful of her. James liked it and talked about, kind of said something sweet about moms that are gone. Uh, if I don't, hey Ron Lowther, I brought you up. Happy Mother's Day, Dustin. Thank you. You should get the refill rate. I did. Coffee with Ken Roadshow. I love the man on the street backdrop. Well, I appreciate that. Weird. That's rude. I don't know what. She's she's. I don't know. It's okay. And find a weather. Lisa, that was exciting content. That was exciting. All right. Well, I appreciate it. We didn't grow our audience. I mean, I could walk around. I'm not walking around here. I would not walk around central Illinois trying to stretch it out and show you things. But I'll bet you if I was in Chicago or something down by the beach, I bet that's popular. I bet that's popular and would grow a good audience. Well, now I've scored an extra cup of coffee. I have stretched the show to 145 minutes. I've shown you my gimbal. We've gone inside a Casey's and uh yeah. If there's free refills, is there free refills? I don't know about free. She charged me $1.99. I'm pleased with that though. I am pleased with that. Let me see how this works. Do you guys know about gimbals? These little phone stabilizers? Kind of nice. I'm going to put this away. I think one of the lessons I've learned when you're in a car is it's important to have everything go where it belongs. So you know where to reach because obviously you're in fairly tight quarters. You don't even, but in life, it's good to know where everything goes. You know what I mean? Like when you clean out your garage and you have it all sorted and you know where exactly everything is. It's a really nice feeling. You need a, I don't know, air pump for your bike. Oh, it's right there. It's right over there. I know exactly where it is. I'll go get it. Oh yeah, I've had that feeling. Have you had that feeling? We got 57 people watching. We got 49 thumbs up. We have what I would call is a glorious audience today. My plan is to go to the gym. I belong to a Crunch Fitness. Show the cup and say, I need a refill of your glorious coffee and show the cup. Is that how it works, Ron? Did you hear, Ron? I've dropped your name. I should do that, I guess, next time. But we talked earlier. Do I recline in the front seat to sleep or is it in the back seat? I just reclined in the front seat and slept great. Dave Reed wants me to go tour Allerton Park. Are you serious, Dave Reed? Is it enough? Because I'm free today. My kids are with their mom. I'm not working. I can't work because if I did, she'd have to have me 7 days in a row. She said she can't. She wishes I was in. It was nice to hear that. For a guy that recently lost his job at another place, it's nice to have my boss tell me that she wishes she could have me work tomorrow because we're slammed. And she's scheduling me every day. And for a guy that needs money and is willing to do what he has to get it, it was nice hearing that. But either way, I don't have really much to do today. Uh, so I could go to Allerton Park. Somebody asked, do your legs get swollen? Uh, I know they have in the past. I've only been in the car one night, which sounds grotesque. That sounds grotesque having your legs swell. But I remember in the past that, yeah, my ankles felt thick. It's not a pretty thought. Sounds like I'm getting very old if my ankles are getting fat. Or like I have like circulatory issues or too much salt. Again, Dave Reed, you said go tour Allerton Park. Oh wow, look at that. Dave Reed said 1999. How can I not love 1999? That is a glorious super chat. And I was actually talking to you when you sent that. Thank you, David. Um, is Allerton Park worth going to for a live show? Anonymously says, how long do I plan to stay in the Kia? Well, we did an over under of how long I will be in the Kia Soul earlier. And somebody said 200 days, somebody said 30 days. And if I were to do an over under, I think 30 days is a good estimate. I think that'll probably, I'll be sick of it by then. But I will have had a full month of getting caught up, feeling better, maybe saving a little bit of money as well. Because again, just spending, I could have kept going and stayed in the hotel, but it didn't make sense to me to squander 1,500 bucks a month for a tiny hotel room that wasn't big enough to house my children, have visitors, cook a meal, and it was just a place to sleep. And if it's just a place to sleep, I mean, I just think about it. I mean, I saved 50 bucks not there last night. And I mean, 50 bucks is not a big deal, but just over time, it becomes a big deal. Somebody's pulled over there. You want me to do a live video? There's a couple guys getting questioned by a couple different cop cars about, I don't know, 80 yards just on the other side of the road there. I should stroll by. I'm not going to. I respect our officers, but stroll by doing my live video and just kind of have them in the backdrop. That would make them feel very uncomfortable. And I bet you they'd get harsh with me, even though I'd be within my rights to be there. There's another cop. You hear that? I mean, I wonder what's going on. There's now three cop cars pulling over one dude. Or I guess there's two dudes in the car. I wonder what they did. Wonder what they got pulled over for. It's Sunday morning. It's 9:15. Thomas said, just turn my camera around. Oh no, Thomas, I would need to get up close and personal and be talking while I'm doing it. I mean, I can turn the camera around. Probably. I don't even know how, honestly, but I'm sure I can. I'd want to get up close so you could see them up close. But seriously, there's three cop cars now. And on each side, there's an individual being talked to by a cop. Looks like our suspects are Caucasian males. I'm not sure what they've done. But for some reason, there's three cop cars there. I don't know if it's just they start gathering when they make an arrest. It's going to be sad to say goodbye to you guys. I mean, I have an opportunity for one of the most exciting moments in Coffee with Ken history. Maybe I could go over there, film it live, and watch a dude get tased. It might be me though. That would suck. Suck to get tased. Have any of you ever been tased? Bet it hurts. Not sure if hurts is the right word, but completely loss of any control. Dave Reed said, Allerton Park. Did you just Google that, Dave Reed? Allerton Park is a historic estate featuring formal gardens, sculptures, and extensive natural areas with 14 miles of trails, offering a unique blend of art, nature, and history. That sounds lovely. Should I wrap it up with you guys right now and go to the gym, shower, get ready for my day? And maybe my day is just heading off to Allerton Park to Monticello. Maybe it's do nothing at all. Maybe it's go see a movie. Maybe it's go out for breakfast, but possibly go live again a little later from Allerton Park. I think I think the problem and what I'd run into is if I tried to talk for 8 hours, which I'm kind of doing right now. I'm not really trying to talk for 8 hours, but I wondered if I talked for longer, if my audience would grow. I think it would be hard to actually be sitting here speaking for 8 hours. I almost feel my brain is kind of getting fuzzy and tired, and my vocal cords are getting tired and fuzzy a little bit. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe the biggest thing holding me back from the 8 hour live is sheer endurance. And even when I have a hot thing like three cop cars questioning two individuals, there's no handcuffs and no billy clubs being brought out, but I'm ready to spring to action if it gets more exciting. Just three cop cars, flashing lights, two guys, one outside each of the car being questioned. I really like my Kia Soul, by the way. I see a black one pulling up to the light in front of me. I mean, if I did it all over again, I probably wouldn't buy white. I've never owned a white car. I thought of putting the Coffee with Ken logo on it. That's why I have a white Kia Soul. But I think that black one looks actually kind of nice. I think it's a great car. Ron Lowther says solid plan. Okay. Ron Lowther. So I'm going to say goodbye to you fine folk and wish you all the happiest of Mother's Days. And I am going to take the next step, which is driving to my gym and figuring out how showering at my gym works. I'm sure it's kind of like showering anywhere else. But again, packing my bag, going into the gym, getting a locker, shower, workout, all that. And I'm going to reevaluate how I feel, I don't know, in 2 hours after that. And if I have the enthusiasm, energy, and lack of anything else to do, I might take a drive out to Monticello and check out Allerton Park, which I hear is lovely, but I've never been there. Um, but since I have nothing to do, we might as well create some content, see if we can boost some revenue, and pick up some subscribers. But that's my plan. That is my plan. Again, it's Mother's Day. It is Sunday, mid morning. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I hope you're having a great, great weekend. I hope you had a great night's sleep. I hope the moms out there are feeling loved, and I hope they do know they're loved. Um, yeah, I want to thank you so much for joining. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself, and I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.